On November 5th, voters in the United States will go to the polls to elect a new president. In the past, the results of U.S. elections have sometimes been announced within hours of the polls closing, but this year's close race may mean that the wait is longer. The winner of some presidential contests has been announced late at night or early the following morning. This time, media outlets may have to wait longer to predict who will win because of the close race in many states. For several weeks, the current Vice President, Democrat Kamala Harris, and the former President, Republican Donald Trump, have been running neck and neck. Recounts may also be necessary after narrow victories. If there is a difference of half a percentage point between the votes cast for the winner and the loser, a statewide recount would be required. For instance, in Pennsylvania, a crucial swing state. The difference was barely more than 1.1 percentage points in 2020. Also possible are legal challenges. Republicans have already filed more than 100 pre-election lawsuits, including ones challenging voter eligibility and voter roll management. Any disorder associated with the election, particularly at polling locations, is another scenario that could result in delays. On the other hand, the process of counting votes has been sped up in some places, including Michigan, a crucial state, and far fewer people will vote by mail than they did in the last election, which took place during the COVID pandemic. The first polls will close on Tuesday evening at 18 on EST, 23 on GMT, and the last polls will close early on Wednesday at 01 on EST, 6 on GMT. What has been referred to as a red mirage in previous years may trend Republican in some states according to early tabulations. This is due to the fact that smaller districts, which have fewer voters, are counted before large cities, which tend to be Democratic. However, the outcome of 7 swing states, which experts believe could be won by Harris or Trump, is expected to determine this race. Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin are all included in this group. Polls close in Georgia, 5 other states, and partially in 2 more states at 19 NOSA EST, 00 GMT. In less competitive states like Kentucky, U.S. TV networks are likely to start making their first calls of the night at this time. Polls close in 3 states, including North Carolina, at 1930 EST, 0030 GMT. A picture of which candidate is performing better may begin to emerge from the early results from North Carolina and Georgia, but it will still be far too early to identify any national trend. Polls close at 20 hours EST, 10 GMT in Pennsylvania, 15 other states, the District of Columbia, and partially in 4 other states. The top election official in Georgia believes that approximately 75% of votes will have been counted by then. Voting ends in Arizona, Wisconsin, and 12 other states at 21 hours EST, 2 dawn GMT. Michigan's final polls are all closed. 1 week prior to Election Day, officials in Michigan are permitted to begin counting votes, but they are not permitted to reveal the results until these polls close. On the other hand, Pennsylvania and Wisconsin prevent vote counting from beginning until the beginning of in-person voting, resulting in an anticipated delay in their results. Nevada, 2 other states, and 2 other states close polls at 22 DAS EST, DAO 3 DAR GMT. Because Nevada allows mail-in ballots to be counted as long as they are received by November 9th and sent on Election Day, it could take days for Nevada votes to be counted. Most absentee and mail-in ballots, including those cast by Americans living overseas and members of the armed forces, are counted last. On November 3rd, the 2020 election took place. However, after the outcome in Pennsylvania became clearer, U.S. television networks did not declare Joe Biden the winner until late in the morning on Saturday, November 7th. Voters have waited much less time in recent elections. When Donald Trump won the presidency in 2016, he was declared the winner the day after the election, just before 03 OSAS EST, 8 hours GMT. When Barack Obama won a second term in 2012, it was expected that he would win before midnight on Election Day. However, a notable exception occurred in the 2000 election between Al Gore and George W. Bush. The vote took place on November 7th, but the two campaigns got into a fight over a close Florida race, and the race wasn't decided until December 12th. The state's recount was stopped by a vote of the U.S. Supreme Court, keeping Bush as the winner and giving him the White House.